Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. So today I have a special list for you all. This is my first ever deck tech video on this channel because I've been playing this for a while now. I've been testing with it and I actually brought it to a locals and I got first. And this is based on my favorite list from the OP01 metagame, which is based on the Zoro leader. I mean, you really gotta play this. But this version of the deck list is a more all-in rush build. You just focus on rushing down your enemies and bringing your enemies' life total down to 0 and going for the win. So if you want to play this deck, you either rush or you die trying. If you enjoyed this deck tech, please consider giving a like and subscribing if you want to see more One Piece card game content or more deck techs in the future. I feel like I've been making a few decks and I've been wanting to talk about them, so I'm really excited to share them with you guys. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at the Rush Zoro list. So first of all, this is just a picture of all the cards in the list. I will have a deck list to this particular list in the description below, so you can check it out there for the proper numbers and everything, and as well as the card effects. But I will be talking about every single card in this list and also what I feel is necessary, what I might change out, and also how to play a little bit of the deck. So first you gotta start with your leader, which is Zoro from OP01 from Man's Dawn. I have not tried a version with the leader from the Straw Hat Crew starter deck, but I really like this Zoro just because Dawn 1 everything gets plus 1000 power. And in a metagame that is full of just hybrid colored leaders with 4 life, you being at a 5 gives you a little bit of advantage right there, as well as giving like enough power to just rush through all of your opponent's threats and just being super aggressive. So he is my leader of choice, and the reason why I'm so tied closely to this is because this is the first alternate art leader that I actually pulled from all my openings, so I had to play him, right? The next time I want to talk about is actually OP01 Nami. This card is just extremely important for the entire deck strategy because one of the key cards that you are constantly looking for is actually the 3-cost Rush Zoro. Nami's ability to on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and take a Straw Hat Crew type card, put it into your hand is just really good for searching. This is very important because you don't want red to run out of gas. You are the aggressor in this deck. Your foot will always be on the gas and you do not want to run out of cards. This is a great card to just get the option that you need from the top 5 cards of your deck and then just continue your plays moving forward. You can chain this with Into Years to Sabodi, which we'll talk about later on, but this is just an important card and you definitely need to play 4 of Nami. Next is also Nami. This is the Nami from the starter deck. The ability to give a Rested Dawn to one of your characters or your leaders is very important, especially when you're pairing it with your Zoro leader. Zoro, your leader, only needs 1 Dawn for its ability to be activated, and with Nami on board, you can definitely just attach 1 Rested Dawn to Zoro and all of your characters gain an advantage in that way. I feel like I've been nothing but impressed with this Nami during my testing, and I will not leave her out of the deck from moving forward because, you know, it's really good. Plus, there's also the counter 1000 that can help you defend against attacks if necessary, but most of the time you are dropping her down and you are good to go. One of my favorite things to do right now for Rush Zoro is on turn 1, you will play this Nami from the starter deck. And on turn 2, you will have 3 Dawns, so you can just tap 3 and then you can play your Rush Zoro. Now, you can just use this Nami's ability to give your Zoro leader 1 Rested Dawn, making him a 6000 power attacker. And now your Rush Zoro will swing for 6000 as well. So you have 2 potential attacks that are 6000 power, which is very strong because 6000 means your opponent has to counter for 2000. Getting those early 2000s out of your opponent's hand might be very beneficial for you in the long run. If they decide to take the attack, then they'll down a couple of life. If not, they will have to waste their 2k counters to defend against the early attacks. As early as turn 2, you want to start attacking. You want to be the one that's being aggressive and doing all the attacking, which is why I think this Nami is just really good in this deck. Next, we have 4 Otamas. Now, Otamas I actually really like because Otama is here not only as a 2000 counter, but because Otama pairs really well with Jet Pistol. And you are including Otama for 1 threat and 1 threat only. Eustace Kid. That 8-cost Eustace Kid is definitely one of the biggest walls and hurdles that this deck will have to face. So having a clean answer just to reduce use Tusket's power from 8000 to 6000 with Otama, and then destroying it with a jet pistol is the cleanest way to answer that threat right now, and I will not leave home without 4 Otamas in the deck. I just think it's really good, and if necessary, you can use it as a counter as well. Next, for our 2-cost slot, we're starting with the super rare Luffy. I really like this Luffy, the same reign of why I really like that 1-cost Nami from the starter deck. This is just an efficient use for your Dawn. On turn, if you're going second, turn 1 you're playing this guy. On turn 2, you're swinging in for at least 5k, if not more. And I really like this Luffy. The only problem is it has plus 1000 counter only, and there's been lists that's been playing Sanji, but I just don't really like using Sanji even if he has plus 2000 counter. It just depends on your preferences. I really have been enjoying this super rare Luffy in the deck, and I'm really excited to keep using this guy. Next is the 2-cost Rush Sanji from the starter deck. I think this guy is just really good. He needs 2 Dawn attached to him to gain Rush, which is why I am never playing him in the early game. He is only really ever good in the late game when you want to just spam Sanjis for the final rush attack, and Sanji pairs really well with another card that we'll talk about later on, but I truly like Sanji. The downside is he doesn't have any counter, but this list is very counter light because once again, you are the aggressor, you want to be attacking. So if your opponent tries to attack back, turn it into a race and see who gets the win faster. In this list, I'm also running 2 Gordons. I am just testing this guy out, but I really quite like Gordon in the deck. First of all, it is a plus 2000 counter, so definitely very good. And second thing is, his ability is you can put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck and then draw another card. Like I mentioned before, you do not want this deck to run out of gas. So if there's a situation where you have a dead card in your hand, maybe an event counter that you don't want to be using, maybe in that situation you can use Gordon, put it into the bottom of your deck and then draw a new card from there, and potentially draw into any rush character that can just keep extending your plays and just being very aggressive. This is to me like the flex slot. I can switch this out with the 2-cost Sanji or even like a 2-cost Usopp if I'm expecting like event heavy decks. So, but I kind of have been enjoying using Gordon for a while, so I'm going to keep him in the deck for now. Next is the 3-cost Robin. So Robin, I have been nothing but impressed with. I think Robin is quite necessary right now in the meta game because of all these 1-cost searchers or the blockers, and Robin really just does a very good job of just destroying them or getting a 2-for-1 whenever she attacks. This is good against Red Green Law because of all the 1-cost blockers, 1-cost searchers like Jewelry Bonnie, the 1-cost Beige, even like Choppers. And Robin can just attack, destroy one of the blockers, and you can attack into a rested like searcher card. This is a great card to have. I might bump Robin up to 3, maybe even 4, depending on the meta game that I've been playing that day. Next is without a doubt the most important card in this deck. This is the 3-cost Rush Zoro from OP01. This card is just extremely strong. I think I would not leave home without a playset of this in the deck. This is responsible for your early aggression plays. You want to be swinging in with Zoro to your opponent's life at any chance that you get. He is just really good, and he can come down on turn 2. This is how amazing Zoro is. I just really like Zoro as a card, as a character. This is my favorite card in the deck so far. I think there's no question this is a very strong card in this meta game right now. Next, we have 2 Utas. I have been really enjoying playing with Uta. I think Uta is just the card that is necessary to keep your plays going. So if you guys don't know what Uta does, it's on play you can return 1 card that costs 1 red card that costs 3 or less from your trash back to your hand. So you're using this to get back your Zoros, you're using this to get back your Rush Sanjis, and in the late game, you know, all your Zoros, all your Sanjis are in the trash. You play Uta, you get back a Zoro, you play Zoro, you attack it again. And then if your opponent chooses to get rid of the Zoro, at least in the next turn you have Uta to attack into your opponent with. So I think Uta is just a really good card in this deck. Though I am only playing 2, some lists play 3, maybe 4. Uta doesn't have any counter, so that's the thing that is preventing me from wanting to bump the number up a little bit. But at any time that I have Uta in my hand and I have a lot of Rush cards in my trash, I'm just super impressed with how she plays, and I kind of want to bump the number up to 3. Next up is definitely one of our main finishers of the deck. This is the 5-cost Rush Luffy. This is just one of the strongest cards coming out from the red starter deck. This is just, to me, extremely necessary right now in the current meta game with a lot of blockers. The ability to put 2 down onto him and making him can't be blocked is just a great way to finish off your opponents right at the end. You can use him early as like turn 3. You can use him in the late game when your opponent has already set up their copious amount of blockers. Just drop this guy down and dwindle that opponent's life down to 0. This is one of my favorite cards right now in the list as well. The only problem is, once this Luffy is dead, it's dead. There's no way you can get it back. There's no counter on this card, so you really have to time when you want to use this Luffy. I have won games where I played this Luffy for 5, put 5 dons to this Luffy and swing in for 11k. And you know, your opponent's gonna have a hard time to defend against it counter-wise because they cannot block the attack. So definitely a really good inclusion in this deck. I'm maxing him out at 4 because I want this guy to be my finisher and I want to see at least 2 every game. My next 2 cards are the secret rare Shanks. I mean, I pulled 2 of them, so I have to play with the Shanks, right? I've been kind of impressed with Shanks so far. I mean, if your opponent only has like low costed blockers, him at the top end, just slamming him down and just pressure into your opponent. Even if your opponent has like the 5-cost Law that has blocker with 6000 power, Shanks can just come down and start attacking into your opponent and forcing him to block with that Trafalgar Law. I've been really impressed with Shanks, you know, but of course it depends on whether you have him or not. I might drop the number down to only 1 and replace the 1 other Shanks with like something else. But for now, I'm gonna play 2 because I have 2 Shanks. Now let's move on to the event cards, and we'll start with the most important event card, which is In 2 Years to Sabaody. This is your dedicated searcher, similar to the 1-cost Nami from OP01. This is what continues your plays. This is what prevents you from running out of gas when you're using the Rush Zoro deck. If you don't have any other plays on turn 1 and you have this card in your hand, sure, play it. But after that, you might want to save the 2 Years to Sabaody until you need it. Okay, if you really have extra Dawn, you can use it just to get the card standby and ready to go. You really have to time when you use In 2 Years to Sabaody because you really want to extend your plays at the right moment. You know, drawing the extra card at the start of your turn and then using In 2 Years to Sabaody to search for 1 card deeper may be the difference between you winning or losing from my observation so far. And I really like this card. Also, the triggered ability is also activating the main ability, which is really good because then you just get a free search right there. I have been nothing but impressed with this card. This is a definite playset. This is a staple in this deck, and I will not lower the number down no matter what anyone says. Next up, we have the MVP of the deck. This is Diable Jambe from the main red starter deck. I think right now in the current meta game with a lot of blockers, this is the one card that I'm actually happy to see sometimes in the deck. I've used Diable Jambe to make sure my Robin attack gets through so that I can activate her ability as well as destroy one of the rested searchers, which I feel like is really good. I've used Diable Jambe to attack with a Shanks for the win because Shanks is 9 cost, this is 1. You play a Shanks and then your opponent has a like 6000 power blocker. You use Diable Jambe, he cannot be blocked, and then it's really good. The triggered ability of Diable Jambe is also really important right now in the current meta game with the plethora of all the 1 or 2 cost blockers. Triggering this card from your life and destroying one of the blockers so that your future attacks can go through is actually really important. So I would definitely recommend playing at least 3 of this card in any red based deck moving forward. This is just a really good card, especially in the rush strategy. Next up, as my event of choice, it's Gomu Gomu no Red Hawk. Most of the times I'm not holding up 2 Dawn to counter against attacks, but in the situations that I do, the destroy your opponent's an opponent's character that has 4000 power or less is very important because it gets rid of quite a lot of problematic threats. The 3-cost Eustace kit, a lot of blockers gets destroyed by this. So you're defending your character or your leader, at the same time you're destroying one of your opponent's blockers. Yeah, sign me up. I have not really encountered a case where I have to use the triggered ability, but I think that in some cases where you are facing one lethal attack, it will come in handy to help you counter against it as well. The minus 10,000 power in attack will make it easier for you to counter out of it, so definitely use it when necessary. And I'm running 3 Gomu Gomu no Jet Pistol. This is just my removal of choice. Removal is king right now in this current meta, and having one in red to just cleanly remove a 6,000 power or below character is just really good. I mean, you have big threats like the 5-cost secret rare Yamato to get rid of. You have a lot of cards within that 5 to 6,000 power range, you know, Queen from the purple decks, Izo or Kiku from the Odin decks. You know, it's really good to have right now. And as mentioned before, this is your cleanest answer to Eustace kit, because you can pair Gomu Gomu no Jet Pistol with Otama, reduce Kit's power by 2,000, get him down to 6,000, and then you cleanly kill it with a Jet Pistol. I really like Jet Pistol, and the only reason why I'm not running it at 4 is because of this next card right here. So last but not least, a singleton copy of Round Table. This card is activate main. You can reduce one of your opponent's characters by minus 10,000 power. So once again, definitely useful for reducing your opponent's Eustace kit power down to 0 or minus 2,000, negative 2,000, and you can just attack into it and make it so that your opponent is going to have a hard time to counter against your attack. This is also very useful against the bigger 10-cost Kaido or even the 9-drop Kaido, just to kind of get rid of it. You know, if your board is wiped with the 10-cost Kaido effect, you use this, reduce his power down to 2,000, and then you can safely attack in with your leader to remove that threat. At least at that point, you are stabilizing and both fields are empty, and you can proceed from there with all your rush cards. Now, I'm only putting in 1 because I have not seen a situation where I will need more. I would rather have more Jet Pistols instead of this guy, but I've been testing it and 1 seems to be okay so far. You can bump up the number to 2 if you are facing a heavy purple or green metagame, so it's entirely up to you. And there you have it, just a little rundown of my mono red Rush Zoro deck. This is an all-in rush list. You rush or you die trying. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed my explanations on why I chose certain cards and what kind of combo or strategies that are tied towards like certain cards, like to deal with Eustace Kid, you use Jet Pistol and Otama. To deal with a 10-cost Kaido, you have a singleton copy of Round Table. To keep your engine going and the recursion, I have Uta in the deck. And yeah, try this deck out. I feel like it's really fun, but you really have to make sure you don't put your foot off the gas pedal. You want to just go ham, go hard, and you want to be the aggressor in the deck. I want to repeat this. If you are playing this deck, you are the aggressor, not your opponent. Do not let them set the tempo. You set the tempo, let them react to it. Just keep pushing as hard as you can, and eventually you will finish the game from there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck tech video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the deck list, or what other decks you want me to talk about next. Well, that's it for me for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!